Alright, once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, salutation to the hopeful elect. Alright, I do another video here through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. This is a video about World War III. Alright, please bear in mind um, everything that has been, um, please bear in mind the news that you all are hearing, because this is what's going on right now. World War III build up. You understand?
To send ship through disputed Kerch Strait. A Russian politician has dared Britain to send a ship through the Strait of Kerch and into the Sea of Azov after a Ukrainian official floated the idea following UK Defense Secretary Gavin Williamson's visit to meet the crew of HMS Echo, currently moored in Odessa, claiming the idea was bonkers. Speaking on Ukrainian television, Yuri Klimkak, a deputy minister in the country's government, suggested the British should send the vessel to test the Russian response. The Strait of Kerch was the scene of a confrontation between Russian and Ukrainian forces at the end of last month, when the Ukrainian vessel was rammed. A total of 24 Ukrainian sailors remain in custody in Crimea, the former region of the Ukraine annexed by Vladimir Putin's regime 4 years ago. Mr. Klimkak, who said, when it is being said that Russia won't allow the passage of a British ship, I have one remark: has anyone tried it? And it would be interesting to see how the Russians would react if this ship sailed in a caravan through the Kerch Strait. Mr. Klimkak also suggested, since HMS Echo was a hydrographic survey ship with weapons on board, it was not bound by international regulations limiting the activity of navies belonging to non-Black Sea states in the region. The website of Russian state television station Russia Today reported Moscow officials as describing the idea as bonkers. Mr. Klimkak serves as Deputy Minister of Temporarily Occupied Territories and Internally Displaced Persons, with specific responsibility for securing the future return of Crimea from Russia to Ukraine. Both sides blamed one another for the clash. On November 25th, Ukraine subsequently imposed martial law in the country, and Mr. Putin told German Chancellor Angela Merkel he hoped the German leader could use her influence to calm the situation. A statement issued by the Kremlin said Mr. Putin had expressed a serious concern over Kiev's decision to put its armed forces on alert and to introduce martial law. Mr. Putin also said he hoped Berlin could influence the Ukrainian authorities to dissuade them from further reckless acts. Officials in Moscow effectively dared Britain to follow Mr. Klimkak's advice by underlining the risks of such action, with Russian Senator Franz Pansivik saying it served as an indication of how dangerous the current regime in Kiev is for the world. He added, this regime is descending deeper into a maniacal condition. Mr. Williamson visited HMS, whose planned deployment to the Black Sea and Ukraine he accelerated yesterday in what the Ministry of Defense described as a clear demonstration of the UK's unwavering support both to Ukraine's territorial sovereignty and freedom of navigation. The MOD statement, issued yesterday, added, this followed the latest in the pattern of Russian hostile acts, the illegal seizure of Ukrainian vessels and 24 servicemen by Russia last month. Mr. Williamson said, the UK is a steadfast partner to Ukraine as it faces continued illegal acts of aggression against its sovereignty. HMS Echo's deployment is a further demonstration of our resolute support and commitment to cooperate with the Ukrainian military. Express.co.uk has approached the MAD to ask whether the vessel was likely to be sent through the Strait of Kerch during its deployment in the Black Sea.
Alright, so all that is the build up for World War III. You understand? This is Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. It said the second war is past, and behold the third war cometh quickly. The second war is World War II. You understand? Revelation chapter 12 verse 12. It said, therefore rejoice ye heaven, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil to come down unto you having greater wrath, because he knew that he had the short time. Alright, so that going on there, World War III is right at the brink of happening. So let us to be in mind already going on, because we have to measure the time diligently in itself. You see that coming, you see it happening, you know? You see it happening before our eyes. Alright, I will listen to what Peter not to say here.
On March the 1st, President Putin announced a new generation of weapons, vastly superior to anything developed around the world.
У России такое оружие есть.
A hypersonic system, an ICBM with unlimited range, weapons that can fly through dense layers of the atmosphere, a nuclear-powered cruise missile, underwater drones, a unique combat laser complex. That got everyone talking about an arms race and that deadly Russian missile. But from Russia's point of view, it's the one that feels threatened and wants to restore nuclear parity. So how does that work? And what did Putin mean when he said,
Нас никто не слушал. Послушайте сейчас.
To be clear, nuclear parity came as a result of an arms race. It was provoked by the first and so far only nuclear strike in history, when the US dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Estimates put the total number of casualties at up to 450,000. By 1949, the USSR had its own nuclear weapon ready. By 1952, the US tested the first thermonuclear device. A year later, the Soviet Union followed suit. Both sides began to develop ballistic missiles in an attempt to get ahead of each other. The US installed nuclear weapons in Turkey, and the USSR put missiles in Cuba. It was followed by the Cuban crisis, which saw the world teeter on the brink of nuclear war, until Moscow and Washington realized there could be no winners. That's when the period of détente came about. By the early 1990s, it seemed the tension between the two countries was over. It was a time of promises, although some would prove empty over time. NATO famously promised Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev that it would not move an inch to the east.
Даже такие были выражения, как это было у Бейкера, госсекретаря, что мы и на 10 сантиметров не двинемся в интересах НАТО или что-то.
Recently declassified.
And that UN, right, that NATO, that go back to the dragon in Revelation. You understand? The red dragon.
Documents on the 1990 negotiations proved Russia's account is accurate.
If we maintain a presence in Germany that is part of NATO, there would be no extension of NATO's jurisdiction for forces of NATO 1 inch to the east.
There would be no effort to exclude anyone, and there would be no step taken at this time to push anyone ahead of others.
In 1994, the US changed its mind about expanding east.
We're going to move forward on this, but I'd never spring this on you.
But over the past 18 years, NATO's been joined by Hungary, Poland, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, Albania, Croatia, Montenegro, as well as the former Soviet republics of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. NATO is now at Russia's doorstep. Here is an online meme on how Russia moved its country too close to NATO's military bases. Furthermore, the US moved its missile defenses closer to Russia's borders, another promise broken by Washington. In 2002, the US pulled out of the ABM treaty signed decades before when the Soviet Union was still in place. What is missile defense? It enables one party to launch its own missiles and intercept any counterstrike. It could guarantee victory in a potential war. Of course, NATO and the US say their missile defenses are not against Russia, but against Iran and North Korea. But the locations tell another story. Missile defense installations were placed in Poland, Romania, California, and Alaska. They're also planned for Japan and South Korea. Missile defense ships patrol the seas close to Russian territory.
Создаются системы элементы систем противоракетной обороны, что нас очень беспокоит, и мы постоянно об этом говорим в течение 10 лет. Это разрушает стратегический баланс в мире.
The balance is disrupted, and Russia, which hasn't ramped up its missile defenses like the US, is facing a deadly danger.
Вы же все понимаете, о чем идет речь. Чего молчите-то? Вы все молчите. Ситуация усугубляется, ведь это подталкивает гонку вооружений, новый виток создает. Это же очевидная вещь. Вот мы все время думаем, а как ответить? Мы думаем, мы совершенствуем систему, значит, преодоления систем противоракетной обороны. Вот это и есть виток гонки вооружений.
Alright, so you can clearly see, alright, what's really going on. War is on the horizon, and it's about time to turn your mind back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Alright, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native, you make up the 12 tribes of the house of Israel. Turn back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Alright? War is about to happen. And you people are asleep, you are sound asleep. Alright? So I hope my video was edifying, you know. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Scripture says, don't only be a hearer, but also be a doer. Alright? So, shalom.